Shalom, shalom. I felt good about that word earlier, so I had to get back up in here. And I would love to share it with anybody that's willing to listen. You feel what I'm saying? And that's a force to have with me saying, you feel what I'm saying? Just to, basically to ask people if they understand what I'm saying. But just bear with me. After Ecclesiastes 2 and stuff like that, I wanted to do a book from the new from the New Testament. So if anybody has an idea, I would like to include people who watch me and stuff like that. So if you feel like you want something, you want a certain chapter or a certain book from the New Testament, comment it when I share this. And we're going to start reading from the New Testament, read a book from the New Testament after I'm done with Ecclesiastes. Alright, I'm on 4. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 1. So I returned and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead more than the living which are yet alive. Yet better is he than both they which have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. He said Matthew 5, verse 5 through 17. I'm going to take a look at that when I get done with this. Matter of fact, let's just go to it really quickly. Might as well go to it really quickly. But I was asking like what book from the New Testament what would y'all like to see? Like Matthew, John, Luke, Acts, Romans, Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus. Like what book? Hebrews, Peter, Revelation. What would y'all like to hear from in the New Testament? But let's go to that verse that you just commented. Alright, he commented Matthew 5. Got it. No, bro. Not comment like book, chapter, and verses. I'm saying like what chapter. Like if you want to read Saint Matthew, Galatians, like what book would y'all like to read after I finish I walk to it. Explain that. But yeah, Matthew 5. No, not a specific chapter. I'm just saying like a book period. Like I'm going to read the whole book of Matthew and stuff like that. So any book that y'all want to hear me read when I get done Ecclesiastes, comment that when I share this video and stuff like that, or do it now. It don't matter. But yeah, I just want to know what books would y'all like to see me read. Alright, so you saying the whole book of Matthew. Okay, cool. That's what I was asking. Alright, so let's get into the reading of what you wanted me to read. Matthew 5 verses of, what was it again? 5 through 17. Let's make this quick because I want to get back to Ecclesiastes. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets that which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light shine. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy but to fulfill. So that was the one that you wanted me to read. What I got from that was Christ talking too. Basically, Christ was telling people the reward of being righteous and stuff like that, to give people comfort. And it was basically saying like, oh, like God's people make a difference. God's people is what sets the tone in the world. So let's read that verse again, where it says, ye are the salt of the earth, but if salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing. So it's basically saying, if we the salt of the world, but we lost the savor, or we lost like the flavor of it, what is it good for? It's good for nothing but to be cast out and trodden under the foot of men. The truth is trodden under the foot of men. So you shouldn't be hiding the truth. You should be telling the truth, telling the world the truth. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. You cannot hide a city on a hill. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick. If you put it under the bushel, it'll burn everything. But if you put it on the candlestick, it'll give light into the whole house. So let your light shine let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So basically it's saying that the things that you do that reflects the Most High, the Father which is in heaven, you do that in front of those people and stuff like that, so that they getting tongue twisted, so that they can glorify your Father which is in heaven. Once they see your works, they're gonna know that it comes from the Father. All right, that was Matthew. Let me get back into Ecclesiastes, so I could let me see how many chapters in Ecclesiastes. It's only 12 chapters in Ecclesiastes. So after I read these 12 chapters, I'm not gonna read all 12 today, but after I get done these 12 chapters, I'm gonna move on to Matthew, since you commented, and I appreciate that. What's it called? That feedback. All right. So where did I stop at in Ecclesiastes? And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead more than the living which are alive. Yet better is he than both they which have not yet been, who have not seen an evil work that is done under the sun. Again, I consider all travail and every right work, that for this a man is envied of his neighbor. So a man is envied of his neighbor for his good works and stuff like that, especially if that neighbor is not doing any good works. If they don't feel like they're doing anything good, and they see that you are shining your light and you doing good works, they're going to envy you, period. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. The fool foldeth his hands together and eateth his own flesh. Better is a handful with quietness than both the hands full with travail and vexation of spirit. Then I returned and saw vanity under the sun. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he have neither child nor brother, yet is there no end of all his labor. Neither is his eye satisfied with riches. Neither saith he, for whom do I labor and bereave my soul of good? This is also vanity. Yea, it is a sore travail. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he have not another to help him up. Let's stop there and let's break that down, because I like that verse. It's saying that if two are better than one, it's saying two are better than one. Give me one sec. Yeah, it's saying two are better than one. My fault too, I got distracted. Somebody was talking. It's saying two are better than one, because you won't be alone. You'll have somebody there to comfort you and be there by your side. And the person that is alone, he don't have anybody to fall on. He don't have nobody to comfort him and lift him up when he falls. So that's why two is better than one. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he have not another to help him up. Again, the two lie together when they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? That's another good one. It's saying that if two people lie down Just joined. I'm sorry. What are you reading? I'm reading Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 11. So Ecclesiastes is after Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 11. So I want to really talk about that really quickly, because that was a good one. It says, again, if two lie down together, then they have heat. So if two people lie down together, they're going to have heat for each other, the body heat and stuff like that. But if you lay down by yourself in the cold and stuff like that, you can't heat your own self up. So that's what that means. And it was basically just giving that so that people can understand why two is better than one. And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. So it's better to be with people than to be alone. Is what that's applying. Better is a poor and a wise child than an old and a foolish king. So better is a poor and a wise child, because that poor child, even though he's poor, he's wise and he's able to grow and change. But that old and foolish king, 9 times out of 10, when you get to a certain age in your life, you don't change. You might remain the same. So that's why it's saying it's better for a poor, wise child than an old and foolish king, who will no more be admonished. Strength in numbers. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. For out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. I consider all the living which walk under the sun, with the second child that shall stand up in his stead. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also vanity and vexation of spirit. Alright, we on chapter 5 now. Verse 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give sacrifice of fools. For they consider not that they do evil. That's a very good one. Let me break that one down too. It says, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear what he is saying, so you can be obedient and do what he's asking you, than to sacrifice the lips of fools, telling God you're sorry, that you're going to change, and you really don't change. So that's why they're saying to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth. Like I just said, that's why it's better for you to listen than to sacrifice of fools. It says, be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few. So, and I forgot what verse it is. It's another verse that goes with this one, but it's basically saying that in many words there is sin. So when you have a lot to say, 9 times out of 10 is going to cause you to sin, because that's why it says let your words be few, so that you don't overthink and say everything that come to your mind. I can go to a lot of verses that will go well with that verse, but I'm not, for time's sake, I'm not going to do that. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by the multitude of words. So it's saying it right there again. A fool's voice is known by the multitude of words. He don't let his words be few. When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he have no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. So basically, if you give your word to God or anybody, you're supposed to keep it, period. You feel what I'm saying? God don't have no pleasure in fools that vow a vow, but they don't keep their vows and stuff like that. He has more pleasure in people who vow something and keep what they're saying, keep the word that they're saying. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Fact, because you saying stuff with your mouth can cause your flesh to sin. Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice and destroy the works of thy hand? So don't tell the angel it was an error, because the angels keep record of everything, and God's going to be angry with you because he knows everything. You can't lie to God. For in the multitude of dreams and many words there are also divers of vanities. But fear thou God, if thou seest the oppression of the poor and violent perverting of justice, judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter. For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. So let me dive into that really quickly. It was saying that he that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver. So you having the love of money, you will never be satisfied with the love of money. Nor he that loved the abundance with increase. This is also vanity. When goods increase, they are increased that eat them. And what good is there to the owners thereof, saving the beholding of them with their eyes? The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep. There is a sore evil which I have seen under the sun, namely riches kept for their owners thereof to their hurt. But those riches perish by evil travail, and he begetteth a son, there is nothing in his hand. As he came forth of his mother's womb, naked shall he return to go as he came, and shall take nothing of his labor which he may carry away in his hand. So basically that's talking about people who are always trying to make gain. They always trying to get the money and stuff like that. Like, you're always laboring for money and you all about money 24/7, yada yada yada, but when you die you can't take that money with you. So what's the point of you always being for money? Do something that actually matters and that's going to help somebody. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what that's talking about. Don't be somebody that's greedy for money, because in the end you can't take it with you, and somebody else, God might put them in a position to take what you worked so hard for. So that's vanity, and that's vexation of the spirit. Where did I stop at? And this is alright, I'm on 16, chapter 5, verse 16. And this also is a sore evil, that in all points as he came, so shall he go. And what profit have he that have labored for the wind? All his days also he eateth in darkness, and he have much sorrow and wrath with his sickness. Behold, that which I have seen, it is good and comely for one to eat and to drink, and to enjoy the good of all his labor, that he taketh under the sun all the days of his life, which God giveth him, for it is his portion. Every man also to whom God had given riches and wealth, and had given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor, this is the gift of God. For he shall not much remember the days of his life, because God answereth him in the joy of his heart. Yes, vanity will consume us unconsciously. Facts. I'm gonna read one more. I feel good, so I'm gonna just read one more. We on Ecclesiastes 6 verse 1. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and it is common among men, a man to whom God had given riches, wealth, and honor, so that he wanted nothing for his soul of all that he desireth. Yet God giveth him not power to eat thereof, but a stranger eateth it. So let's stop there and go into that. So basically, there's a person in this planet that God gave them riches, wealth, honor, everything that they want, and nothing that they could long for is not unattainable by them. They can obtain anything that they want. Yet God giveth him no power to eat thereof, but a stranger eateth it. So basically, the stranger is going to get that person's portion. So it's going to become his. Like, God gave it to this rich person, gave him everything and stuff like that, but it's going to be the stranger that eateth it and gains the benefit. They're going to gain the benefit. This is vanity, and is an evil disease. If a man beget 100 children and live many years, so that the days of his years be many, and his soul be not filled with good, and also that he have no burial, I say that an untimely birth is better than he. For he cometh in with vanity, and departeth in darkness, and his name shall be covered with darkness. Moreover, he have not seen a sun, nor known anything. This have more rest than the other. Yet though he live 1,000 years twice told, yet have he seen no good. Do not all go to one place? All the labor of a man is for his mouth, and yet the appetite is not filled. That was deep. The labor of a man is for his mouth, and yet the appetite of his soul is not filled. That means that like it's just more than you physically eating something. It's things about consuming things that's good for your spirit. That's what that's talking about. For what have the wise more than the fool? What have the poor that knoweth to walk before the living? Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. That which has been named already, it is known. Alright, so that's the end of chapter 6. I'm going to stop there. I think that that's a good point to stop off at. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got like 6 or 7 more chapters, and then after that, I want to know, like, comment in the video when I post the video, what chapter of the New Testament or what book of the New Testament would y'all like to see me read, and like the breakdown and stuff like that. Because right now we in the Old Testament, but I really want to do like a mix of the Old Testament and the New Testament. I don't want to just do straight Old Testament or just straight New Testament. I want to do a mix. So comment when I post this video which book of the Bible of the New Testament side do you want to see me read and break down. So with that being said, I hope everybody has a beautiful rest of your day. Hope that you do the things of the spirit more than the flesh. Worry about the things that's going to help your soul to grow more than the things that's going to help your flesh to be satisfied. With that being said, shalom, shalom. I'm out of here.